What's going on, everyone in 5-9? My name is Hydrus, and today we're going to be going over the brand new trailer for the new Pokémon Snap game. They just dropped the trailer on Nintendo's YouTube channel and stuff like that, so we're going to go over it. And today I have Brad and Gail here with me. Say hello.
What up?
Hello, everybody.
Very energetic. I love it.
It's early in the morning, man. This came randomly, to be fair. This release was so random.
Yeah, they dropped this trailer.
Nowhere.
It felt kind of random, but, you know, hey, I'm always welcome to new Pokemon news. And Pokemon Snap definitely is a game that I myself enjoyed when I was younger. It was kind of different growing up. Like, we had all the main series games, you know, like Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And then we had Pokemon Snap, which is literally you just going around taking pictures. I don't know what it was about the game, but it felt so fun. So comparing it to the old version, what do you guys think about this new game in comparison to the old one, and how does it feel or look in comparison to the old one that you think?
Honestly, it looks pretty similar. If I'm being realistic, just better graphics and more Pokemon. But the camera looks pretty dang similar and everything.
Yeah, I agree with Brad here. It's pretty similar. I mean, we do know that there's, I think, 200 Pokemon, give or take. I think it's above 200. It's not an exact amount we know about it, but it is more than last time. Even in the original one, we didn't have all 151 Pokemon. I think it was only like 63 or something. Yeah. So obviously that's still good. I mean, 200 plus Pokemon. I mean, for what is supposed to be a side game, not really, you know, focused on battling or anything, 200 plus Pokemon is still decent. I know some people will still be mad about it, considering the outrage that Sword and Shield had for that situation. But no, in terms of its core, from the trailer we've seen, it looks very similar to the old one. And to be honest, I'm more surprised at the fact that we got an announcement so quickly, because we only started getting information about the 25th anniversary yesterday. I wasn't expecting it to be so soon. I thought they would have saved this for like a Pokemon Direct next month or something.
I mean, I think they're gonna start just chucking stuff at us. Like, there's a lot of things that are gonna be happening.
25th anniversary, they're gonna be shoving a lot of this new stuff at us. From going off what Gail said, the original Pokemon Snap actually had 63 of the original Red and Blue 151. This game again has roughly 200, give or take. The old game actually had 7 levels in the original, which was the beach, the tunnel, volcano, river, cave, valley, and then it had that special rainbow cloud course. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm interested to see how many levels. I'm not sure if anywhere mentioned that this had more levels than the original, or if it had the same ones, some sort of, or if we get like maybe like 10 or 12 in this one.
The one thing that's interesting is, especially in the Heracross scene and the Pinsir scene, as well as the Meganium scene, kind of skipping forward to the end of the trailer here, but the one thing that we noticed was the nighttime, and I don't think we specifically had like day-night cycles in, you know, the original Snap. I do wonder if we're probably going to get some form of day-night cycle, where if we're in the day, if we're playing on our Switch and we're playing during the day, we get some different Pokemon in the level, and then if we're in the nighttime and it is actually night in the map as well, we get different Pokemon as well. So that's also going to be a very interesting case if there is an actual day-night cycle.
I would imagine so. It looks like it. It looks like they're at least teasing at that throughout the trailer being a thing, and that's a thing nowadays in modern Pokemon, right? It has been since like Gen 2.
Then, they couldn't do anything like a day-night cycle based on the real time back then. But now it's incredibly possible because of the internal clock within the Nintendo Switch and 3DS and all that kind of stuff. So they're able to actually, you know, do all these day-night cycles, and that would be pretty cool. And it would kind of, the main series games also do have that sort of mechanic to where if you're playing around at night, you can find certain Pokemon, or if you're playing in the day, you find certain Pokemon. So bringing that to this game kind of brings it all together. Not, you know, say no their slogan there, I guess, but you know, it does bring it all together.
I will say the one thing I really want. I want little tiny secrets. Do you remember like when you would have to hit Magikarp out of the water and then Mankey would kick him over and he'd become a Gyarados? I want stuff like
the
that.
little Easter eggs. Yeah, that would be
Like, it's cool to take the pictures and stuff like that, but I want a lot of those kind of things that it like takes me like a couple days to really figure out some of them, and then I have to look some up online and stuff. I want stuff like that. I want to feel like I'm a kid again, bro. That's what I want.
I had an idea, kind of based on the day-night cycle, right? Depending on what Pokemon in there, because, you know, some Pokemon do evolve at night, in you know, versus the daytime. So if, like, you had an Eevee, and you're sitting there, like, feeding it apples, and if it's daytime, it evolves into Espeon, and you do the same thing, and it evolves into Umbreon at night. You kind of can pick and choose and see the evolution. Be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. Yeah, I'm down for all this kind of stuff. I think everything about it looks pretty cool. And when you play the original one, it doesn't feel like there's only 63 Pokemon in it. Even nowadays, yeah, it goes by pretty quick, but it doesn't feel like there's only that many Pokemon. So as long as they can kind of stretch it out a little bit, pick and choose their certain ones. Because, I mean, think about 200 is a fair amount of, like, if you're only taking the fully evolved form or the lowest form, obviously all the starters are probably going to be in it, right? That's going to take up a nice chunk of it. Like we saw Meganium and stuff like that. But if you're taking just like the fully evolved forms of a lot of really cool lines of Pokemon, you know, Haxorus pops up somewhere, but you don't see Axew and Fracture, stuff like that, I would imagine.
I did see a lot of people comparing this game to the Shield and Sword games because of the graphics. And yeah. Shield and Sword has been notorious because a lot of the graphical elements within that game are very more so miss than hit. So,
yeah.
And when I first saw this trailer, this game, the overall textures to the game looked way better than Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
In terms of the aesthetic, though, I think Sword and Shield definitely has a better game aesthetic than, say, Snap does, but Snap has the better texture quality. It's two very different things, but it does fit into each other. So
well, I didn't realize, I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, there's actually, in one of the trailers drops down, it's a different character. I wonder if there's character customization in it. Because like modern Pokemon has had that.
Female pick.
I see might be. I think there'll be like the male-female pick, and then you'll be able to customize it, and the female will obviously be better, like every Pokemon game since Gen 6, probably. But yeah, no, coming to the graphics, in my opinion, I agree with you, and this was even noticed when they did the first trailer, or the first reveal trailer, was like, the textures, the environments look so much better than Sword and Shield. That's hands down what it is.
They really do, yeah. In
my opinion, I just don't like some of the Pokemon models, in my opinion. I still feel Game Freak, and I think it's Creatures, the company that does more of the modeling work for Game Freak and Pokemon for the main series games. They do a better job in terms of some of the models, I feel, for Pokemon as well. And maybe it's partially because of the environment and how the game fits and that sort of stuff. Or maybe it's because it's more similar to what I've experienced throughout my 15 years of playing this, you know, this franchise. Maybe that's the case, and Bandai haven't been able to do an amazing job with that, trying to replicate the Pokemon of old and stuff like that. But I agree with Hydros in that the environment and textures look so much better on Snap.
Yeah. Like I said, in comparison to Switch, the aesthetic on Switch looks better in majority of the things. And yes, Game Freak and Creature do have better models. When I saw the models for this game, if you remember the 3DS Pokédex thing that you could do,
I remember.
The models kind of look like those. They weren't like really good quality. They were just kind of, you know, they're meant for just looking at occasionally. I guess they're not super high in depth, you know, models and textures and that. So it kind of looked like that to me because that was, you know, scrapped. So they probably just took that or something and said, hey, let's just reuse these. They could have done that.
No, I agree. The thing is, at the end of the day, for me as well, and this is to everybody who's saying, why can't Sword and Shield do this? And I'm just going to give a quick rundown. Bandai have probably been working on this game for 2+ years. Game Freak have only get like a year to a year and a half tops. And even then it's a question because they probably still have to work on making sure the game that's being released the year before is working perfectly fine, right? And obviously, we don't know the company size or the team working on Pokemon Snap or the size of it. Whereas Game Freak, we know, is a pretty small company compared to a Bandai or something else. So we can't expect a lot out of Sword and Shield. And I still believe Sword and Shield, with what time they were given by Pokemon Company and everything, still did an okay job. They could have done much better. But we have to also keep that into consideration, of course.
Yeah, it's just rushing. That's really what ruins Sword and Shield. Because Sword and Shield's good. I had a good time with it, but I'm not a very picky fan. It doesn't bug me that much. But I mean, for what we got, for the amount of time, like you said, they had, and I think the second DLC made up for a lot of the flaws. I think a lot of us can agree on that. I've had no problem with it. You know, at this point, they've rectified what happened. Hopefully next time they're like, all right, let's just prep a little bit ahead of time, and then we can actually do that. But that's why this looks so much better. You're right, and Bandai as well. They handle their games different. than companies like Game Freak. It's just how it is. Game Freak's kind of an outlier on how they handle their games, Pokemon specifically. It's very funky. Yeah, Bandai's very by the books, I feel like, with a lot of these kind of things. And I mean, we'll see. It looks absolute fire. Is there any kind of speculation you guys got? Because I can't think of much else to speculate. I just want to freaking play it.
Honestly,
you'll be able to play it because the game does come out on April 30th this year. So right around the corner. It's really close, and it will be available.
Actually really close.
It's actually available to pre-order right now for $49.99 on the eShop. So you can go pre-order it. I imagine they'll maybe do like
It is £49.99. I think in dollars it might be $60. That's $59.99.
Okay, so it's available for $60. My bad. Standard Pokemon game. I mean, it's still not too bad. And as long as we get our fun out of it, then I say it's worth the $60.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I'm never that person to complain over $10 unless like it is like literally half a game, right? If I can squeeze 15, 16, 20 hours out of something and it has some replayability with my friends, yeah, it's worth $60 compared to $50. Like, I'm down.
Yeah, I think that'll pretty much do it. I mean, there's not much else go off on the trailer. I mean, the game looks really good for what it is. And again, I've played Pokemon Snap since it first came out, so I'm really excited to play it again. You guys are excited?
Let's speculate about the Meganium. Meganium at the end. What is Meganium?
Yeah,
I have to know what it is because they're hinting at something. It's not a legendary. It's a very old starter, but it's really big and it's on the cover. They're hinting at something with Meganium. I just don't know what. And I love Meganium. I'm totally down. Yeah. Color green's my favorite color.
Okay, I'm gonna say this here: if Feraligatr doesn't get something, I am going to lose it.
Imagine if they add only Meganium from the Gen 2 starters. It'll be hilarious.
Bro, that's all they snatch up.
I'll immediately ask for
Pokemon fans would Pokemon fans will riot everywhere. Look, I like Chikorita, but let's talk about who's the most favorite in second gen. It's not Chikorita.
The one thing I hope that this releases, and this was something that I wanted to bring up as well, is like the last year when we had the Rescue Team DX release, it came at a very bad time in terms of what games came around. It came around. Animal Crossing was just right after it, Final Fantasy VII Remake, and so on. Hopefully this time around, or this year with Snap's release, I hope it's in a spot where there's no major release, so that we can actually see how it'll perform accurately. Because last year, Rescue Team did well in terms of sales. I think it got like 2-3 million plus copies sold. I could stand corrected. I don't remember the last count, but I remember it was a pretty decent. It sold relatively well, but it came at a very poor time where there were so many other games coming out. So hopefully Snap isn't going to be put in the same position, I should say.
The only of the games that Pokemon could release around this time frame of Snap would be like these side games that they're having prepped, like Pokemon Unite, for example, and stuff like that.
Or Detective Pikachu.
We won't see a main series game, especially for other main titles.
So Detective
they generally
Pikachu
save those for holiday release.
But I'm not saying Pokemon games generally, but I'm just saying hopefully it doesn't get influenced by other titles from other companies.
No, that's what I said. That's what I meant. I meant other main Nintendo titles. They generally don't release them around April.
True.
Most don't. They could, but most don't.
I mean, we did get Animal Crossing last year.
25th anniversary. They don't want to outshine this. In some regard, so I don't think that. But I think Snap will do fine on its release. I think it'll do really good.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see how it does.
I mean, if they play into it right and they do the hype right, it'll sell really well. Just nostalgia based. If they play into it properly.
So I think that'll about do it for this video. Let us know down in the comments down below if you guys are excited for Pokemon Snap. You're going to be picking up and playing it. Also, when you do get this game, tweet us some of your cool captures with that Switch, share button on Twitter and stuff like that. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Click that bell to turn on notifications to miss out on any videos here on 5-9 Gaming in the future. Thanks to Gail and Brad for joining me here today.
I appreciate you hosting, bro.
No, I appreciate you for having me on as well.
All right, we'll see y'all later.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.